My sister tried to seduce my fiancé on our wedding day to break us up, but she got caught on camera. My sister Dove was always the golden child. Pretty, smart, and spoiled, absolutely rotten. Growing up, she'd destroy my stuff, and Mom would take her side every single time. She once spilled coffee on my prom dress and cried, saying it was an accident. Mom believed her. She used my phone to send embarrassing pictures to my friends because I complained to Dad about her. She even tore 2 of my dresses with scissors when Dad called her out. No consequences ever. She was a narcissist who cheated on every boyfriend she had. Eventually, she married this rich guy Jeremy, dropped out of college for him, and spent 3 years living the luxury life. Then he divorced her when she refused to have kids, and he caught her flirting with guys at bars. She moved back home, jobless, bitter, and absolutely seething that my life was going better than hers. I worked my ass off to get into my dream college and landed an amazing job. That's where I met Atlas. He was smart, kind, handsome, everything I'd ever wanted. We dated for 1.5 years before he started asking to meet my family. I was terrified. I knew Dove would try something. The dinner was worse than I imagined. She dyed her hair black to match mine, got all dressed up like she was on a date, and literally threw herself at him when we walked in, pushed past me for a hug. During dinner, she rushed to sit next to him. When I asked her to move so I could sit there, she gave me the dirtiest look before switching seats. She kept asking Atlas about his interests. He liked hiking. She suddenly loved hiking too, even though I knew she hated being outdoors. He mentioned he played guitar. Oh my God, me too. We're so compatible. She actually winked at me like it was a joke, but everyone could see what she was doing. Atlas was uncomfortable as hell. He kept redirecting conversation to Mom and Dad, but Dove wouldn't stop. After dinner, I went to shower, and she cornered him alone, asked him to call her phone because she couldn't find it just to get his number, then launched into this sob story about her divorce and how traumatized she was, how Jeremy destroyed her mentally. Mom even joined in bitching about Jeremy. Atlas told me everything. I knew right then that she'd try something at the wedding. So I did something I'm not proud of, but don't regret. I hired extra security and had cameras installed in every private room at the venue, including the groom suite. My maid of honor, Ashley, knew about them and agreed to monitor the feeds on her phone during the reception. Wedding day arrived. Everything was perfect. The ceremony was beautiful. Atlas cried when I walked down the aisle, and the reception was in full swing. I was dancing with my bridesmaids when Ashley grabbed my arm, face completely white. "You need to see this right now." She pulled me into a corner and showed me her phone. The security feed from the groom suite. There was Dove, dress half off, pressed against Atlas, trying to kiss him. My stomach dropped, but then I watched him push her away hard. "What the hell is wrong with you? I'm married to your sister. She doesn't deserve you," Dove slurred. She'd been drinking. I'm better than her. I'm prettier, more fun. She's boring and fat, and you're going to regret this. Get out before I call security. You wanted this. I saw how you looked at me at that dinner. She tried to kiss him again. He grabbed her wrist. "I looked at you like you were crazy because you are crazy. I love your sister. Now get the hell out." She didn't know the room had cameras. Ashley grabbed my shoulders and asked what I wanted to do with the footage. I felt this weird calm wash over me, like everything suddenly made sense. Every destroyed dress, every ruined moment, every time Mom took her side, it all led to this. I told Ashley to save the video to her phone and back it up to the cloud immediately. Then I went back to the reception like nothing happened. I danced with Atlas, cut the cake, tossed the bouquet. Dove caught it, which made me want to laugh. She had no idea her entire world was about to implode. As the night wound down, she cornered me in the bathroom, mascara running, and slurred that she needed to tell me something important. She said Atlas had kissed her in that room, that he'd wanted it, that I deserved to know the truth. I just smiled and told her I knew everything. Her face went white. Then she said she was pregnant, and there was a chance it could be Atlas's from when they'd hooked up at that family dinner. I realized in that moment she was about to tell this lie to everyone at my wedding, and there'd be no way to prove it wasn't true without destroying my entire family in front of 200 guests. I looked Dove straight in the eyes and said, "Actually, I have security footage of everything that happened in the groom suite. I know you're lying about the pregnancy and the hookup." Her face drained of all color. Like, literally. She went from flush drunk to ghost white in seconds. She started backing away from me, stumbling a bit in her heels. "What are you talking about?" she stammered, trying to sound innocent, but her voice cracked. "I know what you did, Dove. I watched you throw yourself at Atlas. I watched him push you away and tell you to get out. I have it all on video." She lunged forward, reaching for my clutch. "Give me your phone, right now." I stepped back. "It's not on my phone. Ashley has it backed up in multiple places. The cloud, her laptop, an external drive. Even if you somehow got to her phone, it wouldn't matter." Dove's eyes went wild. She grabbed my arm, nails digging in. Please, please don't show anyone. I'll leave. I'll never contact you again, I swear. You were about to tell everyone at my wedding that you're pregnant with my husband's baby, I said calmly. You were going to destroy my marriage in front of 200 people. I wasn't going to actually do it, she whispered, tears streaming down her face now. I don't know, I was drunk and upset, and you're always upset. You're always making everything about you. This ends now. She let go of my arm and sank against the bathroom wall, makeup smearing. I walked out without looking back. I found Mom in the hallway talking to some cousins. I pulled her aside gently. Mom, I need to show you something. It's important. We went into one of the private rooms the venue had set aside for family. I pulled out Ashley's phone, which she'd given me earlier, and pulled up the video. You need to watch this. Mom looked confused but took the phone. I watched her face as the video played. Dove entering the groom suite, looking around to make sure no one was there. Her dress was already half unzipped. She walked up to Atlas, who was adjusting his tie in the mirror, and pressed herself against his back. He jumped, startled, and turned around. What the hell are you doing? You could hear Atlas say clearly on the video. Come on, Dove purred. I know you've thought about it. Everyone always likes me better. Then she tried to kiss him and he shoved her back, hard. That's when Dove called me fat and boring, said Atlas would regret marrying me, said she was prettier, more fun. Mom's hand was shaking as she held the phone. She watched the entire thing in silence. When it ended, she sat there for what felt like hours. Finally, she looked up at me. Can I see it again? I nodded and restarted the video. This time, Mom's eyes filled with tears. When it finished the second time, she handed the phone back to me and just sat there, staring at her hands. Are you going to show this to everyone at the reception? She finally asked. I haven't decided yet, I said honestly. But you should know Dove just told me she's pregnant and that it might be Atlas's baby. She claimed they hooked up at the family dinner. Mom's head snapped up. She can't be pregnant. What? Mom closed her eyes. 2 years ago, when she was still married to Jeremy, she had a procedure done. There were complications. She can't have children. She made me promise never to tell anyone, not even your father. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. So she was planning to fake a pregnancy? She must have been, Mom said quietly, to destroy your marriage from the inside, keep you questioning, keep Atlas on edge, make you both miserable until you fell apart. She looked at me with red eyes. I've been enabling her behavior for too long. I know that. I made excuses because she was struggling, because Jeremy left her, because she seemed so broken. But this, she gestured to the phone, this is unforgivable. We sat in silence for a moment. Then Mom stood up, wiped her eyes, and straightened her dress. Let's go back to the reception. When we got back, I could hear Dove's voice carrying across the room. She was standing with a group of aunts and cousins near the dessert table, gesturing wildly with her wine glass. As we got closer, I could hear what she was saying. Just don't understand why she's always been so jealous of me, Dove was slurring. I mean, Atlas is handsome and everything, but he's really not my type. Although, she giggled and several of my cousins looked uncomfortable. He did seem pretty interested earlier. We had a moment. I felt Mom tense beside me. I walked up to the group, my heels clicking on the floor. Everyone turned to look at me. Hi, everyone, I said brightly. Dove, can you repeat what you just said? About Atlas? Dove turned, swaying slightly, that smug, drunk smile still on her face. She was too far gone to realize she was walking into a trap. I was just saying that Atlas and I had a moment earlier. We kissed, actually, in one of the back rooms. There was definitely something there. Several relatives gasped. My Aunt Jennifer put her hand over her mouth. One of my cousins started to say something, but I held up my hand. That's really interesting, I said, still smiling. Then I turned to Ashley, who was standing nearby with her phone. Ash, can you help me with something? Ashley understood immediately. She walked over to the venue's AV guy, who was controlling the music and the big projector screen they'd used for our photo slideshow earlier. A minute later, the music cut off and everyone turned to look at the screen. The security footage started playing. Crystal clear video, perfect audio. Everyone at the reception watched Dove throw herself at Atlas, watched him push her away, heard her say I was fat and boring, heard him tell her to get out. The room was dead silent except for the audio from the video. When it ended, I looked at Dove. She was frozen, mouth open, wine glass hanging limply in her hand. That's fake, she finally screamed. That video is edited, it's fake. But multiple guests were already shaking their heads. My cousin who works in film production said loudly, that's not edited. Look at the timestamp. The audio quality is consistent. That's real-time footage. Atlas came up beside me and put his arm around my waist. He looked at Dove with disgust. I told you to leave me alone. I told you I love my wife, but you just couldn't handle that, could you? Dad pushed through the crowd. His face was red, and I couldn't tell if he was angry or embarrassed or both. Dove, leave now. I live at your house, Dove shot back. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore, Dad said. His voice was shaking. You need to pack your things because you're not welcome to stay with us anymore. Dove looked at Mom, expecting her to defend her like she always did. But Mom just shook her head. Your father's right. You need to leave. Dove's face crumpled. She started crying these big dramatic sobs, but no one moved to comfort her. A few relatives I hadn't even realized Dove had been feeding lies to came up to me and Atlas. They apologized for believing her stories, for giving us the cold shoulder based on things she'd said. My Uncle Frank, who'd barely spoken to me in months, came up with tears in his eyes. She told me you'd stolen money from her, that you'd broken into her apartment. I'm so sorry I believed her. Dove's old friends from high school, the ones who'd come to the wedding, were backing away from her. One of them, Ashley C., actually said out loud, I can't believe you tried to ruin your own sister's wedding. That's psycho behavior. Venue security appeared at the edge of the crowd. Dad nodded to them and they moved toward Dove. She was screaming now, pointing at me. You're going to regret this. I'll ruin your life. You think you're so perfect, but everyone's gonna see what a bitch you really are. The security guards took her arms, not roughly but firmly, and started escorting her out. She was thrashing, trying to pull away. You'll be sorry. All of you will be sorry. Dad followed them out, probably to make sure she actually left. The music started up again, but it was awkward. People were whispering, looking at each other. Atlas pulled me close. You okay? He asked quietly. I nodded. Yeah, I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. We left for our honeymoon in the Bahamas the next morning. I turned my phone off airplane mode once we landed, and it basically exploded. Dozens of messages, missed calls, voicemails. I scrolled through them while Atlas got our rental car. Most of them were from relatives, but there were also messages from people I didn't recognize, tagging me in social media posts. I opened Facebook and my stomach dropped. Dove had made a post at 3 a.m. just hours after the wedding. It was long and rambling, claiming she'd been assaulted at my wedding, that Atlas had come on to her, and when she rejected him, I'd gotten violent. She said the video was fake, that we'd hired actors, that the whole family was covering it up to protect Atlas. She tagged what looked like every single person who'd been at the wedding. Are you serious? I showed Atlas the post when he got back to the car. He read it, jaw clenched. What do we do? Nothing yet, I said. Let's just enjoy the honeymoon. Ashley will handle it. And she did. That night, Ashley posted the full, unedited security footage to our private family group chat. All 25 members saw it. The complete context, from the moment Dove entered the room until she finally left, after Atlas threatened to call security. There was no way to misinterpret it. By the next morning, Dove's Facebook post was gone. When I checked, I saw that several family members had commented underneath with the truth before she deleted it. My Aunt Jennifer had written, "We all saw the real video, Dove. Stop lying." My cousin Brad posted, "You need professional help." Her remaining high school friends stopped responding to her messages. I know because one of them, Katie, sent me a screenshot apologizing. I had no idea she was like this. Katie wrote, "I'm so sorry. I've blocked her on everything. We spent 2 weeks in the Bahamas. It was perfect. We barely checked our phones. When we got back home, I figured the Dove drama had died down. I was wrong. Mom called me the day after we got back. We need to talk. Can you come over?" When I got to my parents' house, both Mom and Dad were sitting at the kitchen table. They looked exhausted. Dove moved in with her friend Tiffany, Mom explained. But Tiffany kicked her out after 3 days. What happened? I asked. Dad sighed. Tiffany called us, said Dove was posting things on social media about her, making up lies because Tiffany wouldn't let her drink all day. Dove apparently told people Tiffany was stealing from her, that Tiffany's boyfriend had tried to hit on her. All lies. Where is she now? We don't know, Mom said quietly. She won't answer our calls. 2 days later, Dove showed up at their house. I know because Dad called me right after she left. She demanded money for an apartment deposit, screaming at them on the front porch. The neighbors heard everything. Dad had said no, told her she needed to get a job and support herself. Dove had called him every name in the book before getting in her car and speeding off. A week after that, Atlas came home from work looking pissed off. "You're not going to believe this." What? My boss pulled me aside today, said he'd gotten several calls from someone claiming to be my sister-in-law, trying to get information about me, asking about my salary, my schedule, whether I'd been in trouble at work. Are you kidding me? I blocked all unknown numbers. Boss said if she calls again, they're involving legal. Things were quiet for a while after that. We didn't hear from Dove, didn't see her around town. My parents said they occasionally got calls from numbers they didn't recognize, but when they answered, whoever it was would hang up. Then came Dad's birthday dinner in September. We'd reserved a table at his favorite restaurant, just family. Parents, me and Atlas, my aunt and uncle, a few cousins. We were halfway through appetizers when Dove walked in. She looked rough. Her hair was greasy, pulled back in a messy ponytail. She'd lost weight, and not in a healthy way. She was wearing sweatpants and an oversized hoodie. Everyone at the table went silent. "What are you doing here?" Dad asked. "It's your birthday," Dove said, voice shaking. "I'm your daughter. I belong here." "You weren't invited?" Mom said. Dove's eyes filled with tears. "Of course I wasn't, because she turned all of you against me." She pointed at me. "My own sister destroyed my life and you all just let her." I put down my fork. "I didn't destroy your life, Dove. You did that yourself." "You showed that video!" she screamed. People at other tables were staring now. "You humiliated me in front of everyone. You tried to sleep with my husband on my wedding day," I said calmly. "What did you think was going to happen? It was a mistake. I was drunk, but you couldn't let it go, could you? You had to ruin everything." Atlas stood up. "We're not doing this here. Leave." Dove grabbed a water glass from the table and threw it. Not at anyone specific, just threw it. It shattered against the wall. The restaurant went completely silent. My uncle stood up and pulled his phone out. "I'm calling the cops." "Don't bother," I said. I opened my phone and pulled up the security footage again, held it out so Dove could see. "Want me to show everyone here too? Want me to explain to all these nice people having dinner what you tried to do?" Several relatives who hadn't been at the wedding leaned in to see the phone. My younger cousin Ashley M. gasped when she heard the audio. "Oh my God!" Dove's face went bright red. She grabbed her water glass and I thought she was going to throw that too. Instead, she took a drink and threw the water in my face. Cold water soaked my dress, dripped down my face. Atlas moved between us. Dad stood up, grabbed Dove's arm, and physically pulled her toward the door. She was crying and screaming, thrashing against him. "You're all dead to me, every single one of you." The restaurant manager appeared, asked if we wanted to press charges. Dad said no, just make sure she left. They escorted her out, and Dad came back to the table. "I'm done," he said, voice shaking. He looked at everyone at the table. "That girl is not my daughter anymore. Not until she gets professional help and makes real changes. I mean it." Mom was crying quietly. My aunt put her arm around her. We finished dinner in tense silence. That should have been the end of it. But Dove wasn't done. She started contacting my college friends, people she'd met maybe once or twice over the years. She'd send them long messages about how I'd stolen her life, how I was a narcissist, how Atlas was abusive, and she'd tried to help and I'd punished her for it. Most of my friends knew the truth and blocked her immediately. But a few, people I hadn't talked to in years, apparently listened. I found out when an old roommate from sophomore year messaged me asking if everything was okay at home. "Your sister reached out and I'm worried about you," she wrote. I explained the situation and sent her the video. She was horrified. "I'm so sorry, I had no idea she was like this." Then Dove created a fake Instagram account. She used my photos, my name, everything. Started posting inappropriate content, weird sexual stuff that made it look like I was having some kind of breakdown. She'd tag Atlas in the post, tag his coworkers, tag my parents. I reported it immediately, and Instagram took it down within a few hours. But the damage was done. Atlas's coworker saw it before it was deleted and asked him if I was okay. Super embarrassing to have to explain that my sister was literally impersonating me online. Around this time, someone reached out to me on Facebook, Jeremy, Dove, ex-husband. I hadn't talked to him since before their divorce. Maybe said hi at a family gathering once or twice. "Hey," his message read, "I heard about what happened at your wedding. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. I wanted you to know you're not alone. Dove did similar things during our marriage. I called him. We talked for over an hour. He told me Dove had once faked a pregnancy to try to trap him. Kept saying she was going to have a baby and buying baby clothes even after he'd gotten a vasectomy. When he confronted her with medical records proving she wasn't pregnant, she claimed she'd miscarried and blamed him for the stress. She also tried to seduce my brother at our wedding rehearsal," Jeremy said. "When he rejected her, she told me he'd come on to her, almost destroyed my relationship with him. It was only when another groomsman saw what actually happened that I found out the truth. Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. "Before the wedding, I mean. Would you have believed me? I was the ex-husband. It would have looked like I was trying to cause problems. Plus, I honestly thought maybe she'd changed, that it was just the stress of our marriage bringing out the worst in her. She hasn't changed." "I know, and I'm sorry." Mom started going to therapy around this time. She called me one afternoon and asked if we could meet for coffee. We went to this little place near her work, sat outside even though it was getting cold. "I've been working with my therapist on the whole situation with Dove," Mom said. "And I need to apologize to you, for real." I didn't say anything, just waited. "I enabled her," Mom continued. For years, every time she did something terrible, I made excuses. When she destroyed your prom dress, I told myself she was just jealous and needed more attention. When she sent those pictures from your phone, I convinced myself she didn't understand how serious it was. I always chose protecting her over protecting you. Why? I asked. My voice came out small, hurt. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Because she demanded it. Because if I didn't take her side, she'd rage and scream and make everyone miserable. It was easier to placate her than deal with the fallout. And I told myself I was being a good mother by giving her unconditional love. But that's not love. That's enabling. And I'm so sorry. She pulled out a letter, handwritten several pages. I wrote this for you. Everything I should have said over the years. Every time I should have stood up for you and didn't. I don't expect you to forgive me right away, but I need you to know I'm working on it. I took the letter, but didn't read it right there. We finished our coffee and talked about other things. When I got home, I sat on the couch and read the letter. Mom had detailed every incident she could remember. The prom dress, the phone incident, the torn dresses, other things I'd forgotten or blocked out. Each one included an apology and an acknowledgement of how it must have made me feel. At the end, she wrote, "I'm learning that real love includes boundaries. It includes consequences, and it includes protecting all my children, not just the one who screams the loudest. I failed you. I'm going to do better." I cried reading it, called her afterward. "Thank you," I managed to say. "I mean it," Mom said. "Things are going to be different." Meanwhile, Dove got a job at a department store. I only knew because my cousin saw her there and texted me. The job lasted 3 weeks. When I asked my cousin what happened, she said Dove had been fired for starting drama with other employees and telling the manager lies about people. She told her boss that one of the other cashiers was stealing from the register. My cousin explained, "They checked the cameras and obviously she wasn't." Then Dove tried to say the manager was harassing her, but like 6 different employees told corporate that Dove was the problem. Around November, I had to pick up some mail from my parents' house. I'd forgotten to change my address for a credit card statement. When I pulled into the driveway, Dove's car was there. I almost left, but I needed that statement. And this was ridiculous. I was not going to avoid my own parents' house because of her. I walked in and Dove was sitting at the kitchen table. She looked up when I entered, her face doing this weird shift from surprise to calculated sweetness. "Hey," she said, standing up. "I'm glad you're here. I've been wanting to talk to you." "I'm just here for my mail," I said. "Please, just give me 5 minutes. I want to apologize." I looked at Mom, who was standing by the stove. She shrugged slightly, like she was curious to see where this would go. "Fine," I said, 5 minutes. Dove sat back down, twisted her hands together. "I've been thinking a lot about what happened at the wedding, and I realized I was really drunk and out of line. I'm sorry for what I did. It was a mistake, and I regret it. I waited. There had to be more. Things have been really hard for me since the divorce," Dove continued. "I've been depressed and not thinking clearly. I know that's not an excuse, but I just want you to understand where I was coming from. I felt so worthless, and seeing you so happy just made me feel worse about my own life." She was making it about herself. Of course she was. "And I think if we could just move past this, we could have a relationship again," Dove said. "I'm your sister. We're supposed to be there for each other." "Are you in therapy?" I asked. "What?" "Therapy, professional help. Are you getting any?" Dove shifted uncomfortably. "I don't think I need therapy. I just needed time to process everything." "Then this conversation is over," I said. "You don't want to apologize. You want me to forgive you so you don't have to feel bad about what you did. You want everything to go back to normal so you can keep being the center of attention. That's not... You tried to seduce my husband on my wedding day. Then you tried to tell everyone you were pregnant with his baby. You harassed him at work. You stalked my friends. You impersonated me online. You threw water in my face at a restaurant. And now you want me to just forget all of that because things have been hard for you?" Dove's face hardened. "See, this is why I can't talk to you. You're so unforgiving, so cold. I made mistakes, but you won't even give me a chance." "A chance to do what? Hurt me again?" "I wouldn't." "You always do, Dove. That's what you do. You hurt people and then cry when there are consequences." She stood up, knocking her chair back. "You know what? Fuck you. I tried to be the bigger person here, but you're just a selfish bitch who can't let anything go." I grabbed my mail from the counter. "Goodbye, Dove." She was still yelling as I walked out. Something about how I'd regret this, how I was ruining the family. I got in my car and drove home. Mom called later that night. "She left right after you did, wouldn't stop crying and saying how cruel you were." "I don't care anymore," I said, and I meant it. She doesn't want to change. She wants everyone to pretend she didn't do anything wrong. "I know," Mom said. I told her the same thing. She needs professional help, but she refuses to admit there's a problem. In December, I found out through a friend of a friend that Dove was dating someone new, some guy she'd met at a bar. She brought him to a family Christmas party at my aunt's house without asking first. I wasn't there, thank God, but my cousin texted me about it. "Your mom showed him the wedding video," the text read. He looked like he wanted to sink into the floor. Apparently, Dove had been telling him a completely different story, that I was jealous of her relationship with Atlas, that I'd made up lies to turn the family against her, that she was the victim of my manipulation. She'd been lying to this guy for weeks. He watched the video. Then he left the party immediately, broke up with her via text while he was driving home, according to my cousin who got the tea from my aunt. Dove apparently screamed at Mom for sabotaging her happiness, claimed the family was determined to keep her alone and miserable. My aunt told her if she didn't leave, she'd call the police. Dove left, but not before calling my mom some really horrible names. January rolled around, Atlas got a promotion at work, and we decided to move to a different city about 3 hours away. Better opportunities for both of us. Plus, honestly, some distance from the Dove situation sounded amazing. Mom and Dad were supportive, helped us look at houses online, drove up on weekends to help us tour properties. We found a perfect place in March and put in an offer. It was accepted a week later. We started packing in April. We hadn't heard from Dove in months at this point. I thought maybe she'd finally moved on, found something else to focus her energy on. I was wrong. I came home from work one day to find Dove sitting on our apartment steps. She looked terrible, hair unwashed, clothes wrinkled. She'd been crying. "What are you doing here?" I asked, keys in hand. "I heard you're moving," she said, standing up. "You can't leave." "Yes, I can. It's already decided." "But what about me? What about fixing our relationship?" I stared at her. "We don't have a relationship to fix, Dove. You destroyed it. Please." She was crying now. "I know I messed up. I know I did terrible things. But you're my sister. You can't just leave. Give me a chance to make it right. You've had 100 chances. You don't want to make it right. You want me to pretend nothing happened." "That's not true." Her voice got louder. "I've been trying. I've been giving you space. And now you're moving away like I don't even exist. You giving me space doesn't erase what you did. It doesn't mean I owe you anything." Dove's expression shifted from desperate to angry. "You're selfish. You've always been selfish. This isn't about the wedding anymore. This is about you wanting to punish me forever. I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference." "Bull!" She cut herself off, took a breath. "You know what? Fine. Move. Run away. But don't come crying to me when your perfect little life falls apart." She got in her car and drove off. I went inside, hands shaking. Atlas got home an hour later and I told him what happened. "We're definitely moving," he said. "This is getting ridiculous." Moving day came in May. We'd hired movers, packed everything we wanted to keep. My parents came over to say goodbye and help with the last few boxes. We were loading the truck when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. "Hello? This is the police department. Is this the property owner at 42 Maple Avenue?" My blood ran cold. That was our old address. "Yes, that's me. What's wrong?" "We had a report of someone trying to break into the apartment. The landlord caught them and called us. They claimed they lived there and left something behind. When we asked for ID, the name didn't match the lease. Do you know a Dove Harrington? She's my sister. She's claiming she left a family heirloom in the apartment and needed to retrieve it. The landlord says she was trying to pick the lock when he found her." I closed my eyes. "That's a lie. She doesn't have anything in this apartment. She's never even been inside." "All right." We explained she was trespassing and sent her on her way with a warning. "But if she comes back, we'll arrest her. Thought you should know." After we hung up, Atlas asked what that was about. I explained. He looked furious. "This is harassment, like actual legal harassment." We finished loading the truck and left. Mom hugged me hard before we drove away. "Call us when you get there." The new city was great. New jobs, new house, new start. Everything felt lighter. Mom visited after we got settled and the house was almost completely unpacked. We sat in the backyard with coffee and she looked so relaxed. "You know what's nice," she said. "Family gatherings are peaceful now. No walking on eggshells wondering what Dove will do. No drama. Just normal family time." "Does she know where we move?" I asked. "We haven't told her. Your father and I agreed we wouldn't give her any information about you unless you specifically said it was okay." "Thank you." Things were quiet for a few months. We settled into work, made friends in the neighborhood, enjoyed our new life. I actually started to believe maybe Dove had finally given up. Then Atlas came home from work looking grim. "You need to see this." He pulled up a fake Instagram account on his phone. The profile picture was some random stock photo, but the bio said, "Just a friend trying to help A see the truth." The account had sent Atlas a DM. "Hey, I know this is weird, but I thought you should know your wife isn't who you think she is. She's manipulative and controlling. Ask her about what she really did to her sister." The message went on for paragraphs, talking about how I'd always been jealous of Dove, how I'd made up lies to steal her happiness, how the wedding video was edited. It was clearly from Dove. The writing style, the specific details only she would know. This is the third account she's made, Atlas said. The first two I blocked immediately, but I think we need to do something about this. It's not stopping. What can we do? She's not threatening us. She's just being annoying. It's a pattern. The workplace calls, the break-in attempt, now this. I think we have enough for a restraining order. I didn't want to go through the legal process. Didn't want to drag this out. But Atlas was right. Dove wasn't going to stop on her own. We started documenting everything. Saved screenshots of the fake accounts, got a copy of the police report from the break-in attempt, asked Atlas's boss for a written statement about the harassing phone call. My parents provided copies of texts Dove had sent them asking for information about where we lived. It took a few weeks to put the application together. We filed for a restraining order in early August. Dove would be notified and given a chance to respond at a hearing. The notification went out, and my phone immediately started blowing up with messages from a number I didn't recognize. You're seriously doing this? Getting a restraining order against your own sister? This is insane. I haven't even done anything to you. Mom and Dad are gonna be so disappointed in you. I blocked the number. 2 minutes later, another unknown number. I know you think you're protecting yourself, but you're just being paranoid. I've left you alone. I've given you space. What more do you want from me? I blocked that one too. The messages kept coming from different numbers. I stopped reading them and just blocked each new one. The hearing was scheduled for 3 weeks later. We showed up with our documentation. Dove showed up in a dress, hair done, makeup perfect, playing the part of the victim. The judge reviewed our evidence, the security footage from the wedding, the police report, screenshots of the fake accounts, statements from Atlas's workplace, text messages, the fake Instagram account trying to catfish Atlas, the break-in attempt. Dove tried to argue, said the wedding was a misunderstanding, that she was drunk, said she never tried to break in. She just wanted something that belonged to her, said the social media accounts weren't her. The judge wasn't buying it. Ms. Harrington, the evidence here shows a clear pattern of harassment. These aren't isolated incidents. This is ongoing behavior targeting your sister and her husband. She turned my family against me, Dove yelled. She's the one who… Ms. Harrington, you need to be quiet or I'll hold you in contempt. Dove, shut up. But she was glaring at me, pure hatred in her eyes. The judge granted the restraining order. Dove was to stay at least 500 feet away from us at all times. No contact, direct or indirect. No third-party contact. If she violated it, she'd be arrested. As we left the courthouse, Dove tried to follow us. This isn't over. You can't just… The courthouse security stepped in, reminded her of the order that had just been granted. She had to stay away from us. Starting immediately, she stood there on the courthouse steps crying as we walked to our car. That should have been the end. But I got a message from Mom 2 weeks later, sent through Mom, not directly from Dove, so technically not violating the restraining order. She wants you to know she forgives you, Mom said. I laughed. She forgives me? That's what she said. She said she understands you were scared and reacted badly, but she's willing to let it go if you drop the restraining order. Is she serious right now? Completely serious, Mom said. She genuinely doesn't seem to understand what she did wrong. She thinks you overreacted and she's being the bigger person by offering forgiveness. Tell her thanks, but no thanks. The restraining order stands. I will. And honestly, your father and I support you completely. This needed to happen. September came. I found out I was pregnant. We were over the moon. Decided not to tell extended family yet. Just kept it between us and my parents for the first trimester. Wanted to make sure everything was okay before we announced it to everyone. Mom was so excited she could barely keep it together. She kept sending me baby stuff links and name suggestions. But she also knew to keep it quiet. Then in October, my cousin called me. Dove just posted on Facebook that she's pregnant. My stomach dropped. What? Yeah, she's got this whole post about being surprised but excited, #blessed, all that. But like, is she actually pregnant? I have no idea. Can you send me a screenshot? The post was ridiculous. Dove with her hand on her. Completely flat stomach. Talking about the miracle of life and how she couldn't wait to be a mom. Multiple relatives had commented congratulations. Some had even sent money through Venmo. I called Mom. Did you tell Dove I'm pregnant? What? No, I didn't tell anyone except your father, I swear. Dove just announced she's pregnant on Facebook. There was a long silence. Then Mom said, oh no. Did you tell anyone else? Anyone at all who might have mentioned it to someone who told Dove? I told my sister, your Aunt Carol, but I made her promise not to say anything. I sighed. Aunt Carol was lovely, but she couldn't keep a secret to save her life. She probably told someone in confidence who told someone else. And eventually, it got back to Dove. She's not actually pregnant, Mom said. Remember what I told you? She can't have children. So she's faking a pregnancy to compete with me announcing mine? Probably. Or she genuinely thinks she is because she wants to believe it. She did this before with Jeremy, remember? Atlas and I talked about it, decided not to engage, didn't comment on her post, didn't reach out, nothing. Just ignored it completely. If she wanted to fake a pregnancy, that was her problem. 2 weeks later, the Facebook post was deleted. No explanation, no mention of a miscarriage, nothing. It just vanished like it never existed. Around this time, Dove apparently tried to show up at my workplace. I know because security called me. There's someone here asking for you. Says she's your sister. Our records show there's a restraining order, so we're not letting her in. Just wanted to confirm she doesn't have permission. Confirmed. She's not allowed anywhere near me or this building. Understood. We'll escort her off the property and let her know she's not welcome to return. When I got home, Atlas had gotten a similar call from his workplace. Dove had tried to get into his building too, claiming there was a family emergency. They're both adding her to their no entry lists, Atlas said. If she tries again, they'll call the cops. She's desperate, I said. The restraining order cut off all her direct access, so now she's trying to find ways around it. We should document this. We did. Added it to the file we were keeping of all Dove's behavior, just in case we ever needed it for court. December came and we were planning to announce the pregnancy at Christmas. I was 4 months along, starting to show. We told my parents and they were excited to share the news with everyone. But then Mom called me a week before Christmas. We might have a problem. What? Dove found out about the family Christmas party. She's saying she's going to show up. She can't. The restraining order, the party is at your Aunt Carol's house. Technically, it's not your property, so the restraining order doesn't apply unless you're there. I felt sick, so either I skip Christmas with my family, or I risk Dove showing up and causing a scene. I talked to Carol. She said Dove is not invited, and she'll call the police if she shows up. But Dove doesn't seem to care. She keeps calling Carol saying she has a right to be there. Atlas and I talked about it. We decided to go to the party but have an exit strategy ready. If Dove showed up, we'd leave immediately and call the police. Christmas Eve arrived. The party was going great, family everywhere, food, presents, laughter. I was helping my cousin set up dessert when I heard a car pull into the driveway. Everyone went quiet. We all knew. Somehow, we all just knew. Dove walked in without knocking. She looked around at everyone, smiled, and said, "Merry Christmas, everyone." Aunt Carol stood up. "Dove, you're not invited. You need to leave. It's Christmas," Dove said, still smiling. "It's a family party. I'm family. You have a restraining order," I said. "You're not supposed to be anywhere near me. This isn't your house. The order doesn't apply here." Atlas pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the police." Dove's smile faltered. "Seriously? On Christmas? You're violating a court order," Atlas said. "Yes, seriously." Dove looked around at everyone. My cousins, my aunts and uncles, even the little kids. They were all staring at her. Nobody was smiling. Nobody was welcoming her. "You've all turned against me," she said quietly. "My own family. You did this to yourself," Dad said. "You've been given chance after chance. You refuse to change." "I have changed. I've been working on myself. I've been trying to be better." "By stalking your sister?" Uncle Frank said. "By creating fake social media accounts? By trying to break into her apartment? That's your version of better." Dove's face crumpled. "I just wanted to be included. I just wanted my family back." Police sirens echoed outside. Someone must have called before Atlas even finished dialing. Aunt Carol probably. 2 officers came to the door, took in the scene. Aunt Carol explained the situation, showed them a copy of the restraining order on her phone. The officers turned to Dove. "Ma'am, you need to come with us." "I'm not going anywhere," Dove said. "This is a family party. I have a right to be here." "You're violating a restraining order. That's a criminal offense. You can come peacefully or we can arrest you. Your choice." Dove looked at me, really looked at me. For a second, I almost felt bad. She looked lost, broken. But then I remembered everything she'd done, all the lies, the manipulation, the harassment, and I felt nothing. "This is your fault," she said to me. "All of this. You destroyed our family." The officers took her arms. She didn't fight, just let them lead her out. We all watched through the window as they put her in the back of the police car and drove away. Nobody said anything for a long moment. Then Aunt Carol clapped her hands. "Well, let's have some dessert." The party continued, but the mood was different, quieter. People kept glancing at me and Atlas, asking if we were okay. I assured them we were fine. Mom pulled me aside later. "I'm so sorry that happened. It's not your fault." "I know, but still." "On Christmas, in front of everyone. At least it's documented now," I said. "One more violation on record." Atlas and I left early, tired from the drama. On the drive home, he reached over and squeezed my hand. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said, and I meant it. I'm okay. The restraining order violation meant Dove spent the night in jail. She was released the next morning with a court date scheduled. The judge was not happy when he saw it was her second appearance related to the same order. Ms. Harrington, when I granted this restraining order, I was very clear about the terms. You are to have no contact with your sister or her husband. Yet here you are, showing up at a family event where you knew she would be present. Dove tried to argue that technically it wasn't our property. The judge shut that down immediately. The order states you must stay 500 feet away at all times. That includes family gatherings. You can't use technicalities to justify harassment. He extended the restraining order for another year and added stricter terms. Now Dove couldn't even be at events in the same city if she knew I'd be there. Any violation would result in immediate jail time, no exceptions. Dove was escorted out of the courtroom crying. I felt bad for maybe half a second. Then, I remembered her smug face when she walked into that Christmas party and the feeling evaporated. January brought our baby shower. This time we kept it very small and very private. Just a few close friends, parents, that's it. Didn't post about it online, didn't tell extended family until after it happened. No way Dove could find out and crash it. It was perfect. Low-key, fun, exactly what I wanted. No drama, no surprise appearances, just celebrating our baby with people we loved. The baby came in March, a beautiful, healthy girl. We named her after Atlas's grandmother, sent out a group text to family with a picture. Didn't post on social media at all. Mom told me later that Dove had called her, sobbing, saying she deserved to know she was an aunt. Mom had hung up on her. The first few months with the baby were exhausting but amazing. Atlas was an incredible dad. My parents visited all the time, helping with whatever we needed. Life was good. Then one day in June, I was home with the baby when someone knocked on the door. I looked through the peephole and my blood ran cold. Dove. She was standing on my front porch holding a gift bag, smiling. I didn't open the door. Instead, I stepped back and called 911. There's someone on my property who has a restraining order against them. She's not supposed to be here. While I was on the phone, Dove kept knocking. I know you're in there. Please, just let me meet my niece. I brought presents. I just want 5 minutes. The police arrived within 10 minutes. By then, Dove was sitting on my front steps, still holding the gift bag. She seemed genuinely confused when the officers approached her. I'm just here to see my niece. She told them, that's not a crime. You have a restraining order, one officer explained. You're not allowed to be here. But she's my niece? I have a right to meet her. No, ma'am, you don't. You need to come with us. This time, they arrested her, handcuffed her right there on my front lawn. The neighbors definitely saw. Dove was crying and screaming the whole time. You're keeping me from my family. This is cruel. You're all cruel. After they took her away, Atlas came home early from work. We sat together in the nursery, watching our daughter sleep. This has to stop, he said quietly. I know. She's not getting better. She's getting worse. I know. What do we do? I didn't have an answer. We'd done everything right, documented everything, gotten the restraining order, called the police every time she violated it. And still, Dove kept coming. The third court appearance was different. The judge had clearly had enough. He looked at Dove with zero sympathy. Ms. Harrington, this is the third time you've appeared before me for violating this restraining order. You seem to believe the rules don't apply to you. I just want to see my niece, Dove said, crying. I haven't done anything wrong. You've done everything wrong. You've harassed your sister and her husband for over a year. You've stalked them at work. You've created fake social media accounts. You've shown up at their home despite court orders not to. This ends now. He sentenced her to 30 days in jail. Dove lost it, started screaming in the courtroom. You can't do this. I have rights. She's my family. Security had to physically remove her. We could hear her yelling all the way down the hall. 30 days of silence, 30 days of peace. It was the longest stretch without Dove drama since the wedding. We could breathe again, but I knew it wouldn't last. Dove didn't know how to let go. Even if it meant losing everything, she'd keep coming back, keep trying to force her way into our lives. When she got out of jail in July, I was proven right. She immediately called my parents, demanding they arrange a meeting between us. When they refused, she showed up at their house and wouldn't leave until they called the police. She tried contacting Atlas's family, people she'd met maybe twice, sent them long messages about how we were keeping her from her niece, how she just wanted to be an aunt. His mom forwarded the messages to us and blocked Dove on everything. She even tried to contact my old boss from before I moved. He sent me a screenshot of her email. It was unhinged, claiming I'd stolen her identity and was living her life, asking him to please help her prove I was dangerous. My old boss replied to her email with one sentence, "Leave my name alone, or I'll forward this to the authorities." Then he blocked her too. Atlas and I talked about moving again, maybe leaving the state entirely, but we just settled settled into our house, had good jobs, good neighbors. Why should we have to uproot our entire lives because Dove couldn't accept boundaries? Instead, we upgraded our security system, added cameras, better locks, a direct line to the police, made sure everyone in our lives knew not to give Dove any information about us. It helped, but it didn't solve the problem, because the problem was Dove herself, and Dove couldn't be fixed because she didn't think anything was wrong. August came, almost a full year since the restraining order was first granted. Dove had violated it 4 times, spent 30 days in jail, and still wouldn't stop. I was giving the baby a bath when Atlas called me to the living room. He had his laptop open to Facebook. "You need to see this." Dove had created yet another fake account. This one was pretending to be a concerned neighbor. The post talked about how we were neglecting our baby, leaving her alone, not feeding her properly. It tagged Child Protective Services and several family members. "She's trying to get CPS called on us," I said, feeling sick. "She's insane. We need to report this to the police." We did, showed them the fake account, explained it was part of the ongoing harassment. They added it to her file and said they'd follow up. A week later, CPS actually did show up. A caseworker, very apologetic, explaining they'd received an anonymous report about child neglect and were required to investigate. "I know this is probably nothing," she said, "but we have to follow protocol." She walked through the house, checked the baby's room, watched us feed and change her. Everything was clearly fine. Our daughter was healthy, happy, well cared for. "Obviously, there's no issue here," the caseworker said. "This report was false. I'm going to document that and close the case immediately. The report came from my sister," I explained. "She has a restraining order against her and has been harassing us for over a year." The caseworker's expression hardened. "Filing a false CPS report is a serious crime. I'll be passing this information along to law enforcement." Good. Maybe this would finally make Dove face real consequences. Dove was arrested again a week later, this time for filing a false report. The charges were more serious than the restraining order violations. She could actually face jail time, not just a few weeks, but months or even years. My parents called me after they found out. Mom sounded tired. She called us from jail, wanted us to bail her out. "Did you?" "No. Your father told her she needs to take responsibility for her actions." She hung up on him. "Good. Is it though?" Mom sighed. "She's my daughter. It kills me to see her like this. But I know we can't help her anymore. She has to help herself." "She won't," I said. "She thinks everyone else is the problem." "I know." Dove's court date was set for October. Bail was denied because of her history of harassment. She'd sit in jail until the trial. 2 months of silence. 2 months of living our lives without looking over our shoulders. It was like a weight had been lifted. October arrived. The trial was short. Dove tried to defend herself, claiming she'd made the report because she was genuinely concerned. But the evidence against her was overwhelming. The fake social media account, the pattern of harassment, the restraining order violations. The judge found her guilty, sentenced her to 6 months in jail, followed by 2 years probation. During probation, she was forbidden from contacting us or any member of our extended family without explicit permission. Any violation would send her back to jail. Dove sobbed in the courtroom, begged the judge to reconsider, but it was done. She was led away in handcuffs. Atlas and I left the courthouse feeling like we could finally breathe. It was over. Or at least it would be over for the next 6 months. "What happens when she gets out?" Atlas asked in the car. "I don't know," I said honestly, "but at least we have time to figure it out." 6 months came and went. Our daughter grew, started sitting up, then crawling, then pulling herself up on furniture. She said her first word, "Dada," and Atlas cried. Life was normal, happy, peaceful. Dove was released in April. Mom told me she'd moved to a different state, 2 states away, to live with a friend from high school. Said she was starting over, getting therapy, working on herself. "Do you believe her?" I asked. "I want to," Mom said, "but I don't know." A month went by. No contact, no fake accounts, no mysterious reports. Nothing. Then another month. Still nothing. "Maybe she really is getting help?" Atlas said one night. "Maybe," I said, but I didn't believe it. People like Dove didn't change. They just got better at hiding. I was proven right in July. I got a notification that I'd been tagged in a Facebook post. Opened it to find Dove had created yet another account, this time not even bothering to hide that it was her. The post was a wedding photo of me and Atlas. Dove had captioned it, "Still thinking about the day my sister ruined my life because she was jealous of me." I screenshot it, sent it to our lawyer, and reported the account. It was taken down within an hour. I also forwarded it to Dove's probation officer, since contact through social media was a violation of her probation. 2 days later, Dove was back in jail. Her probation was revoked, and she had to serve the remaining 18 months. Atlas and I celebrated with wine and takeout. Our daughter played on the floor while we ate, babbling to her toys. 18 months? Atlas said. "That's a long time." "It is." "Do you think she'll ever stop?" I looked at our daughter, so perfect and innocent. No, but we'll keep protecting our family, whatever it takes. 18 months later, Dove was released again. This time, she apparently stayed in the state she'd moved to. Mom said she'd gotten a job at a retail store and was renting a room in someone's house. She asked if she could see pictures of her niece. Mom said carefully, no. I told her no. Just wanted to let you know she asked. Time passed. Our daughter turned 2, then 3. No word from Dove, no attempts at contact, nothing. Maybe she'd finally gotten the message. Maybe she'd actually changed. Or maybe she was just better at staying under the radar. I didn't care which it was. As long as she stayed away, I'd take it. Then came another family wedding. My cousin's daughter was getting married. Big event, whole family invited. It was 3 states away. So we flew out for the weekend. The wedding shower was on a Saturday afternoon. Beautiful venue, tons of people. I was talking to my aunt when I saw her, Dove, standing by the punch table, dressed up, talking to the bride like nothing had ever happened. My heart started racing. I looked for security, for anyone who could help. But before I could move, the bride's mother, my cousin, spotted Dove and marched over. You need to leave, now. I'm family, Dove said. I have a right to be here. No, you don't. You were explicitly not invited. Security. 2 men in suits appeared. They took Dove by the arms, not gently. She started yelling, causing a scene. Everyone stopped and stared. You can't do this. I'm family. Tell them. She looked at me. Tell them they can't kick me out. I walked over, looked her dead in the eye. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere near me or my family. Leave. Security dragged her out, still screaming. The bride was crying, her special day ruined. I felt terrible. But as I watched Dove being removed, I realized something. I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel sorry for her. I just felt tired. Tired of the drama. Tired of looking over my shoulder. Tired of Dove making everything about her. I went back to the party, hugged my cousin, apologized for the disruption. She waved it off. Not your fault. She's been banned from all family properties and events indefinitely. If she shows up again, we're pressing charges. And that was that. Security removed her immediately when she appeared at the wedding, and she was escorted off the premises before she could cause more damage.